Hello students, this is Neeru Slathia, your social science teacher, and students, today we are going to start a new chapter of class 7th history, that is chapter number 8, and the name of chapter is the devotional paths to the divine. Students, here divine means God. Students, this chapter is all about the bhakti movements which emerged in India during the medieval age, and also we can say that before the medieval age. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss about that how different Sufi saints, different philosophers, and different Hindu saints attracted a number of people towards their views and ideas about God and its devotion. So, students, let's start our today's topic. Our first point is the idea of a supreme God. Now, students, what is the idea of a supreme God? It means the idea of supreme God is that there is only one God in this world which can be attained or approached with bhakti or devotion, or we can say that with ibadat. Students, before the existence of large kingdoms, different groups of people worshipped their own gods and goddesses. Yes, students, before the existence of large kingdoms, a number of people used to perform different rituals, or they worship their god or goddess by singing bhajans, kirtans, kavalis, or by chanting or by repeating the names of God in the silence. The belief that social privileges came from birth in a noble family or a high caste was the subject of many learned texts. Yes, students here privileges means special right. Students, the people who was born in the noble family or a high family, people who were born in the noble family or a high castes was has only the right to worship the god. So many people were uneasy with such ideas and turned to the teachings of the Buddha or the Jains. Yes, students. So, as it was believed that the people who was born in the noble family or high castes has the only right to worship the god. So, many people were unhappy or unsatisfied with such ideas and turned to the teachings of the Buddha or Jainism. As according to Buddhism or Jainism, all human beings are equal, and they rejected the idea of social differences that was based on the birth. Others felt attracted to the idea of a supreme God who could deliver humans from such bondage if approached with devotion or bhakti. Yes, students, some other people attracted towards Sufi saints as their views and ideas about God and its devotion. So many people attracted towards the Sufism. A new kind of bhakti in South India, Nayanars and Alvars. Students, our next point is that a new kind of bhakti is emerged in South India, and these were the Nayanars and Alvars. Now, students, who were the Nayanars and Alvars? Let's see. The 7th to 9th centuries saw the emergence of new religious movements led by the Nayanars, saints devoted to Shiva, and Alvars, saints devoted to Vishnu. Okay, students, during the 7th to 9th century, there was an emergence of a new kind of bhakti, and that was led by the Nayanars and Alvars. Now, who was the Nayanars? Nayanars were the saints that were the devoted to Lord Shiva, and who were the Alvars? Alvars was the saints that were the devoted to Vishnu. Next, student, the Nayanars and Alvars went from place to place, composing exquisite poems in praise of the deities. Yes, students, the Nayanars, these Nayanars and Alvars, these saints from the Nayanars and the Alvars, they went from one place to another place. They moved all around the world and they composed beautiful poems. Students, exquisite here, exquisite means beautiful, or we can say that extremely beautiful. Yes, you can say that extremely beautiful poems in the praise of the deities. So the Nayanars and Alvars, they move all around the world from one place to another, and they composed extremely beautiful poems in the praise of their deities. Between the 10th and 12th century, the Chola and Pandya king built elaborate temples, strengthening the links between the Bhakti tradition and temple worship. Yes, students, Cholas and Pandyas were the famous kings, and students, these Cholas and Pandyas made very large temples around many shrines between the 10th and 15th centuries. These temples were visited by many saints, many poets, and philosophers, with which the link between the Bhakti tradition and temple worshipped strengthened. Okay, students. Next point is student philosophy and Bhakti. Shankara, born in Kerala, one of the most influential philosophers of India, advocated Advaita, or the doctrine of the oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God. Students, Shankara was a famous philosopher, and he was born in Kerala in the 8th century. He was one of the most influential philosophers of India. He favored the Advaita doctrine of mixing of individuals' soul into the supreme God. And according to him, this is the ultimate reality. And he also said that the world around us is nothing but an illusion. There is only one power, and that power is only the supreme God. Next point, student, is the about the Ramanuja. Ramanuja, born in Tamil Nadu in 11th century, was deeply influenced by Alvar's described best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Vishnu. Students, Ramanuja was also a great philosopher, and he was born in 11th century in Tamil Nadu. He was very much influenced by the Alvars. Alvars, that were the saints that were the devoted to Lord Vishnu, and he was very much influenced by the Alvars. He said that we can get salvation only with the intense devotion to the Lord Vishnu. His ideas greatly influenced the new way of bhakti or ibadat, which was developed in North India in later times. Students, what is the meaning of here salvation? Salvation here means that freedom from the cycle of the birth and death. Freedom from the cycle of birth and death is called the salvation. Students, that was all about our today's topic. I hope all of you understand it very well. Thank you.